All right, here we go again. Buckle up.
You are listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right. The altruistic threat theft, or is it? Now, with the deep state, shadow government, criminal enterprise, and any such affiliate, the scam is it's always altruistic. There's always this reason behind it to save the children, to save society, to protect women, to stop the fascist, whatever it may be. Or protect yourself from the Islamophobe. Fighting for the right of communism. All that bullshit. So, years ago, the agents that aren't part of the deep state, but are stuck in the system with bosses like Comey, Mueller, and their subordinate cronies, sent the idea that they say you have enough in life and you don't even deserve what you have because, nobody's doing anything in the FBI to stop you, and we have to stop you. And again, it's a psychosis. It's their psychosis. These are all part of a larger criminal enterprise that cover over their previous crimes. Also, it enriches them. So they're receiving remuneration in various ways, but it's always altruistic. And one of the big ones was the FBI is not stopping these people. And again, Kash Patel could buy into it. I mean, he has the personality. I'm going to tell you that he does. So when we have that $900 and something thousand theft, the person that does it could be deep state because that's what it motivates people to do. Gold bars rush, etc. And again, that's the other example. When did he do it? When did he come clean? Did the Rush case influence him to come clean about it? But when he says nobody was stopping these people, somebody ought to do something, that's what the deep state uses. And again, it's gotten them out of internal investigation after internal investigation after internal investigation. Well, their heart was in the right place. And all of a sudden, they're driving a $75,000 Hellcat around. So these are things that have to be looked at. Again, it's just investigative food for thought because I don't know the guy. The guy might be the nicest agent in the bureau, and he just, again, had a brain fart. I said I can't do that level of investigation, and I think that's part of why they wanted me to leave government. But again, when they make it impossible, it's not about me; it's about them. So is it or is it or isn't it? Again, it's more than even just those psychic blips. When the deep state was being talked about under Obama, they didn't care. Under Trump, they started making excuses. Again, altruistic excuses. Even Vindman was part of that. That extrajudicial operation was necessary. Because you can't handle the truth. Kind of in a quandary right now because I have that dehumidifier and the air conditioner on at the same time because the dehumidifier kicks out heat. So I'm trying to, lessen each one so that the utility bill isn't as high, but I don't think I can do it. Again, part of my disability as to why it needs to be that way. Well, if you have allergies real bad, and that's also part of the thing, rhinosis and all that from the, again, it's that, it's the same as like chemical inhalation, Agent Orange. Right. So I need to keep a certain environment in here. And I'm trying to skimp on it and it just beats me up. If I get out more, and I'm going to try to get out more, I need to walk. And that's going to happen here shortly. If I'm not walking, it's not a physical fear of what you're doing out there. It's metaphysical, which means you have too much witchcraft status and power, which is reducing right now. And everybody that's part of the thing, even if they didn't break in, is having their power reduced. And God's moving that, of course. No, it's so humid. But again, I find the weather here better than other places. It's not like the humidity, like I said, the humidity in Oklahoma and Kansas is disgusting. The description corn sweat is the word sweat in the air is a good description. It's thicker. It's starchy. That's nasty, right? I didn't know what it was. If I didn't know it was corn sweat, I'd have moved sooner. That had been actually a reason for me to move. I could have actually probably articulated a spiritual movement. So deep state's in my brother's head. So right now they're in his head. He's like, oh, move to Philadelphia. I'm like, yeah, right. Right. Because if I move, they get paid. Now him, he might be getting paid for it. He's a strange fella. I don't know the complete ins and outs of what motivates him, but I know it's deep state. But it isn't like they walk up and hand him money. And whether he sees it or not, I don't know either. His stock might just go up if he says that. And then he subconsciously says that to me. Well, last time he said, yeah, you can come here, and then did me. Right. So years ago, my mother and I, he came over for Thanksgiving with his family, and he had a young boy, my nephew. And my mother did something, and I didn't use a single curse word. I didn't curse my mother at all like that, F you, mom, or anything like that. I just had some harsh words because she was being her usual self. So, but I'm there really taking care of her myself. Like my brother, when he took care of her, he had his son, he had his wife, had a full house. Right. And the deep state's trying to kill me at the same time in Naples. So they had this idea when he, because of this argument, when he comes over, he doesn't want his son to see that. And I should go somewhere while they're there for things. So here again, it's just a deep state. Oh, he shouldn't be with the family for Thanksgiving. No way, because I mean, it makes them mad. That kind of stuff. Birthdays, holidays. They're psychotic. They're narcissists. It's the biggest cult of narcissism in the world. So now every Thanksgiving they pay me money to get out of the house. You know, give me a couple $100 or something. I go stay at a hotel. But one thing you should realize, my brother yells at my mother more than anyone else in the world. That's how weird it is. And you know, the deep state blocks, I never really thought about it until like years later. Like, what is he talking about? He's the one that yells at her. So his son sees his own father yell at the grandmother probably at least 5 times a week. And I'm sure when I was out at the hotel and they were staying there, he yelled at her. So again, he's manipulative. He worked for Unisys Computer Corporation as a CFO, so they had to be manipulative to stay alive through those ups and downs over all those years. So he was one of their manipulators. He's not a terrible person, because again, when we put him in the spectrum of the world, he's not a bad person, but he is manipulated by the deep state. So again, but the risk of that is that something happens to me and I get sick. And it makes it difficult to stay here because he wants me to move out there. I have no idea what his angle is. Other than maybe a stock goes up 10 points or 20 points when he says that to me. Again, that's how the deep state wires people. If the only way I would move is if I was given a chunk of change by the deep state, that they said, hey, based upon your work and also the attacks at you for your work for the government, we figured they missed a bunch of, informant award payments, and we're going to give you, something like a 500,000 or $1 million or something. I'm just based upon informant and assistance to the government money, it's in the millions. Yeah, one of their FBI girlies scratches her ass and they give her money, or lets the boss scratch her ass. I go, oh, you're a wonderful investigator. Let's go to dinner. I got some positions open for you. It's really what it is, man. The rest is an illusion. All right. No, I just got a buzz from VA today. They said, looking at your case, you probably you missed your movement when you left the government. You should have been right in the VA. We probably should have, based upon Persian Gulf Service, should have increased your disability. But Deep State was blocking. I mean, they were furious that you got anything. But again, so it's that guy's mentality as far as, I couldn't take it anymore. But again, well, if I were to do that, let's say I was just like lunatic, like that guy, because you got to be a lunatic to do that. But again, they'll build up over the years in being deep state that they, nothing that they do is ever, charged or even investigated. I would have found some way to ensure I didn't have access without something. Again, you can't have access to the money personally, because then that looks like theft. If there was some altruistic reason I had to do it, and again, I wouldn't do it unless, again, there's no way to articulate it, like to say, like this was the fruition of it. Like when I was investigating the case on the side in the Marshal Service, there was an end to it. There was going to be able to, I was going to be able to turn it into somebody, but that person never materialized. Right. And again, it may have been a psyop to say, okay, so he thinks he's going to turn this into somebody. We're going to be those people, and we're going to psyop him based upon a scam investigation. And he's going to, he's not going to find anybody to turn it into, because Glenn Fine may have actually been interested in it. I don't know. Right. Because those are early days of deep state takeover, so he may have still been clean. He was the inspector general. That's the person I was thinking about. I opted to just put, I printed out a guide to the inspector general's office, and I put it on my desk, on my keyboard, because I know they were messing with my desk, my keyboard, my computer. So I was hoping, hey, this should shoo them away, and they'll let me continue my life instead of trying to, do what they're doing to me, which included the possibility of lethality, death. So I don't know. The idea that he was the only person that had access to that money kind of shoots him in the foot as far as the altruism. Like I said, with the CIA case, I know that they'll screw up your case, just try to make you look bad, like you're trying to do something deceptive or criminal. But what screwed him up is he took money from China. Right? If I thought somebody else was in with me on it, I would have discussed it with them and would have transferred it to an account that required both of us. Right? Like he was saying, he thought the people at work were in on what he was doing, and he was receiving guidance, and he may have been receiving it. He may have been set up. But he took money, and he had access to the money, I imagine. I would make sure I didn't have access, or I didn't have access without somebody above me having to, you required 2 passwords. It's just a, basic idea of what I'm saying. And I can't get in with just my password. I need that person's password also. Now, again, they could say that you were both setting it up, but usually that doesn't happen. If they could set up an individual, but setting up 2 people is a little more difficult. But yeah, close proximity to Lake Erie, I'm sure. I mean, we're not close, but close enough for this extra humidity in the late summer. But the temperatures still don't go crazy. Now they're colder than they had forecasted. We have more in the 80s. They thought it was going to be more in the 70s at this point. But then again, there's some heat waves still going on across the country. Kind of tidying up here. So, it brings me to the next thing, which I don't know. I guess I could cover it real quick here. There's an increase in what appears to be hoarding at messy places. Now, the sadness of that one, it always involves cops. Cops are cursing people to that, and maybe even hindering their life, so that, because I have to struggle against it, so I know it exists. But now, if you look in the news, there's an increase. And cops think it's funny. These wacko cops, deep state-like cops, think it's funny to go into somebody's house and arrest them or search it or whatever, and it's a mess. So again, they're devils. So we need to heal that. That came up because I kept seeing it in the news. But the sad part is that means cops are moving their witchcraft. That's a cop curse. And again, that narcissism. Oh, here's the mail and my flute. Let's see. So remember, I was saying that I can just leave the tobacco out and it dries. And the deep state may have willed all this, believe me. Well, now it's wet outside. So if I leave my, so I have to look, maybe buy a dehydrator. If I leave my tobacco outside, it actually becomes moister instead of drier. Or more moist, I guess you would say. I went out there today. I'm like, it's like waterlogged just from the air. I'm like, did it rain in my cabinet? So I'm working on that. But I got that other stuff coming. I really don't want to buy a dehydrator. I have a hot plate, but I don't know for candle making that I purchased. But I actually purchased it for heating up incense resin. But I haven't used that in a while. I was thinking but again, I think that I really, maybe again when the energies are funny, so things are more critical of something such as that, and especially Judaism is under fire. So there's going to be a down from that kind of up. Well, you need to have your tobacco dry to turn it into powder. Let's start. Yeah, for some reason, VA is sending stuff to my old address. I got to look at that again. So it's happening again, and I think the deep state's doing it. I think it's, to them they'll say, they're just ribbing him. It's just a practical joke. He needs to shut up. But again, it's hacking and it's illegal. My addresses are reverting to my old address. I'll delete and I deleted a bank account, and the bank account, I'm almost positive I did. I can't be sure, but I think the bank account showed up again. Right. Again, it's kind of stuff they do also. Why do they do it? Because they're narcissistic and criminally so. So I'm gonna have to get like a Mossy Oak dehydrator. The problem is Mossy Oak is the only people that I know of that make a black shelved dehydrator. Everybody else, it's clear and white, and I'm like thinking, I don't want those. I'm going to be drying tobacco on that. I don't want it to be anything but black. Right. And then Mossy Oak is a brand you can trust, I'm sure. Well, it's just for offering to the Lord's. Again, the offering to God is still an earthly process, which means this: you're receiving something on the planet or even in the existence. But again, it's not a truthful payment process. So you get credit, and then you can continue the prayers. You can, things work better. And obviously, based upon my spiritual efforts over the last 24 years or so, or actually more than that, probably 29 years, 30 years, I should have actually owned several churches or places of worship. That's the way it's supposed to work. I'm the only one telling the truth. So again, that means the system's upside down. So again, he'll hoarding and inability to clean in a house, heal that away. Again, you see, I always have that issue because they're always cursing me to that. And it's picked up over the years. And they'll go, well, it's attention deficit disorder. No, what they're doing is they learn psychology in the government when you're in law enforcement. And they pick the psychology and they cause it to happen in their victims' lives via witchcraft and spycraft. They reverse engineered the clinical psychology and the DSM-5. That's how sick they are. Again, that's classic narcissism, what they're doing there. All right, stay peaceful, praise God in all that you do, praise God. Oh, what I want to say is I don't always tell you to heal it just because it happens to me. It's happening everywhere now. Stay peaceful, praise God.